Of course, man. This part of the show, I want to dedicate this to baseball. I think baseball is a very underappreciated sport.
I mean, actually, personally, I played it all the way through high school myself. So
I played it as well, and you always got that one. You always got that set of family members, the uncles, the grandpops, that were really big on baseball.
Yep.
So I had to go ahead and invite a great coach, mentor of mine, Coach Thomas Eaton.
How you doing?
How's it been, man?
It's going good, Mels. Just been out on the baseball field today, actually getting the field ready for our team for this upcoming weekend. We have a doubleheader Saturday and a doubleheader on Sunday.
Now, for those who want to know more, talk about what it is this team that you coach here in Charlotte.
Well, actually, I coach a post-grad team. It's called Prolific Post-Grad Academy. It's based out of Charlotte. We play our home games at Victory Christian Center School, 1501 Carrier Drive. And all our kids are the kids who've been overlooked by colleges,
right,
and who need that extra year of development academically and athletically. And so all our guys, they take courses over at Central Piedmont Community College here in Charlotte. They have 7 different campuses around the Charlotte area. So they don't have to go to the main campus as long as they're in a Central Piedmont Community College campus and taking a full-time class load of 9 hours or less, and then they can actually play post-grad baseball.
Now, this post-grad thing, it's becoming real catchy now amongst a lot of schools.
Right.
What makes your post-grad program so much different from all the other post-grad programs that are out there?
Well, first of all, we're not expensive.
fair enough.
Yeah, we're not expensive.
Amen.
These other post-grads down there in Houston, Florida, these guys are charging $12,000, $15,000 a year to go to school. We only charge $1,500. That's it. And what that $1,500 entails is get your uniform. We'll buy meals after each game and transportation and hotels. That's it. That's all it is. Okay. And then we rely on some sponsors here and there.
Okay.
Now, besides you coaching, I mean, people really got to people don't really know who they're talking to as far as your resume is concerned. Right. Major League Baseball scout.
Yeah, I was a scout in the Cincinnati Reds organization under Steve Crean for 15 years, and before he retired. And then I did 5 years under Junior Vince Cayeno with the Kansas City Royals for 5 years. And now I'm doing but a few years as an independent scout for the Pecos League out in New Mexico in the Colorado area.
Wow. Baseball. Why do you feel that baseball is so underappreciated, especially in the black community?
Well, people figure, with our kids, you can play baseball from the time that you're 5 years old, and it looks good. But as kids get older, they figure that, I can't get a baseball scholarship, so let me go play football, let me go play basketball. I'm only 5'9", about 180 pounds, but I knew I was going to grow any bigger, and I took a sport that I felt that I could make a big contribution to, and baseball was the sport for me. It's an easier sport. It's longevity. You can stay in baseball, 20, 25 years if you want to, without getting hurt, without getting having concussions like football, getting hit every other play. You might get beaned every now and then, but again, it's still that's what you have to expect. But 9 times out of 10, you won't get beaned up in your head. You will get hit, on your backside or somewhere like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
me growing up, I was lead off hitter. So
right.
You get on base by any means.
Any
Sometimes
means necessary.
That ball a little too close. It's kind of
exactly
a little lean in it.
But yeah, you again, it's one of the longevity sports that I consider one of the best sports to play.
Now, as a Major League Baseball scout, what are some of the few things that you look for that makes a player a pro?
You look at his power, see if he can hit, he can run, he can throw. It's a 5-tool thing that we use in scouting on our scouting chart.
Okay. Now, out of those 5 things, what is the most important tool?
Most important tool is the hit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you hit, that keeps you in the lineup, that keeps you playing every day.
Wow.
Now, I know you're saying, is there any big-time players you've seen over the course of your history that you see makes it a big time that you knew was going to be a big-time player?
Oh, yeah. When I first started my AAU team back in 1997, when I first started scouting, we had Charlotte at that time was hosting the Junior Olympics here in Charlotte. And so we put out well, Facebook and all that stuff wasn't there. So by word of mouth, we put out a flyer, and we had a tryout in Concord, North Carolina, and I had kids from all over the state come, and there was one particular one who caught my eye. This kid, he was about 6'5", had a size 15 shoe, and Lord knows, I said, this kid's pretty good, and he was a left-handed pitcher / outfielder. And come to find out, this kid, his name was Josh Hamilton.
Oh, wow.
And Josh was on our team that we won the Constellation Championship bracket here in Charlotte. And he's one of our most famous baseball players.
Okay.
And when he started his pro career, he did come back through. I think it was Kannapolis, and we all took pictures and everything. I know his parents very well, and he's just a great kid. And at that time, he was doing great until he had that little fallout.
Yeah, I think he's pretty much retired now out of the league.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think he was with the Angels last time I checked, or Rangers.
Rangers, I think, yeah.
Rangers.
Okay, I remember he had signed a big contract with the Angels, and then kind of had a situation, and then kind of fell out of the league a little bit.
But after Josh, we had many more kids to come through. Our most notable one here in the last few years was Michael Daniels. Michael was an all-star, all-state baseball player at South Meck High School here in Charlotte, and he went on to have a great career there, and then moved on to the University of North Carolina at Charlotte. I'm sorry, not Charlotte, but Chapel Hill.
Okay.
And he got drafted in, I think, the 8th round, and went on ahead by the Washington Nationals, and had a good career there. And then he retired a few years after that.
Perfect. Yeah. Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Now, and you've been in this game for a long time.
Yeah.
In your opinion, who is the greatest player you've ever scouted?
Well, well, those two. At this point, we had other kids to get drafted that came through the Carolina Hurricanes, Lexington Chops, Charlotte Crushers, Winston-Salem Crushers program. It's all under one umbrella, but those are the most two famous ones as of right now. We've got kids still in the minors playing. Again, our latest one is Chaz McCormick. He played with the Charlotte Crushers 2015, and he got drafted from Millersville University, small D2 school.
Okay. Now, let's go back to the draft a little bit. Like, I know a lot of people don't understand how MLB draft works. So, tell me if I'm wrong or not. So, if a player gets drafted from high school, he has the option of going back to college, but going into next year's draft. Is that how it pretty much works? Or
pretty much. If he gets drafted out of high school, he has until, I think, August 1st to sign his pro contract.
Okay.
If not, then he'll his name will be put back in there. But once he goes to college, he will have to wait 3 years in order to get drafted again.
Okay.
Now, if he goes to junior college or community college or whatever, he can get drafted that following year.
Okay. Because that's what the route I think Bryce Harper took. He went to community college with Chris Bryant for 2 years. Now, as a player in high school, let's say you go 18th round. Would you consider going to college for 3 years to like move up, or just kind of?
It just depends on your family situation.
Okay.
That's how most of the kids most of the scouts base that on.
Okay.
It just depends on your family situation.
Yeah. I remember the story about David Price, how he was drafted, I believe, 8th or 9th round.
Yeah.
And he didn't have enough money. He bought a BMW, first check, and lived in a BMW for the first season.
Which was stupid, but
Hey, but now he's
multi-millionaire.
can't handle the playoffs, but that's another.
yeah, that's another thing. When you talk about these players, the question is, how can a baseball player be drafted so young at the age of 15, 16 years old?
Well, that's only in the Dominican Republic in Venezuela, because they have the academies there. Every major league team has an academy in the DR.
Oh, wow.
And then they just bring kids through their academy programs.
Now, do you see the United States in some shape, form, or fashion taking that blueprint, having those academies set up here in the States?
Yeah, they have the urban youth academies here, and the closest one in this area, I think, is Philadelphia.
Oh, wow.
Cincinnati Reds have one. Washington Nationals have one. I think the Houston Astros have one. And but Charlotte does not have a youth academy here. Hopefully, they will get one here in the near future.
Now, what direction would you like to see baseball go into?
I would like to see more African Americans back in it, into the game, on the field and in the front office. There are not enough African Americans, player-wise, managers, and in front office personnel. There's just not enough. And there are qualified African Americans who can do the job, but have not been given a opportunity to do that. Some have, some haven't.
Wow, that's what's...
Yeah, it seemed kind of like lately they're going over to like Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, pulling coaches,
right?
Dominican Republic coaches instead of African Americans.
Well, you got to be bilingual.
Yeah.
So that's the reason why they're doing that.
Cause I think open day roster this year, less than 10% was African Americans on open day rosters this year.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think I can probably name 5 guys that's fully African American.
Right, yeah, the biracial ones don't count.
You got David Price, Andrew McCutchen, Mookie Betts, Jackie Bradley Jr.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking that hard now.
Yeah.
And it's just really hard. And once again, I just really do feel that baseball is not promoted on the same scale as maybe the NFL and the NBA is concerned. What a lot of people don't even understand is baseball players get a big fat check.
Their money is the most guaranteed
out of all the sports.
Yes.
Right.
And I just really feel that, when you present a kid, hey, why don't you play baseball? It's just how baseball is perceived through the media. It's perceived as long, boring, whatever. But I tell people, get out there on the baseball field.
Yep.
And you have to. Baseball is a sport where you really have to be disciplined.
Yes. Yes.
And it's really, next to boxing, is probably the most disciplined sport out there, because hit a ball 100 miles an hour. I dare you.
Exactly. I've tried, and it's
and it's hard. And then the consistent of travel. You might play a day-night doubleheader in one city, then you got to jump on your red eye and be in LA the next day to start a 4-game series with the Dodgers. And it's just a situation where a lot of people say, yeah, I can play that. You get out there, and again, like a Aroldis Chapman, this guy's throwing 100 plus. Tell me if you can hit it. Tell me.
Right. And you're not even, and that's just him with a fastball. You're
Right.
not even talking about curves, sliders, sinkers, forks,
Yeah.
You know, with
change ups.
Yeah.
So that is now, and I understand you're providing this platform in the Charlotte community. What made you just want to do that?
Well, baseball is the only sport that I know how to do, and as from being a player, a coach, and now on the administrative side, I own also the Charlotte Crushers Summer Collegiate Baseball, and again, you know, we play our home games out there at Victory Christian Center School, and we get kids from all over the country to come to the Carolina Virginia Summer Collegiate League to play. The last 4 years, we have kids from the Dominican Republic, from Australia, from Canada, and I think we had a young man from Germany to come and play. So once you, again, social media is your biggest key right now. So once you Google CharlotteCrushers.com and go there and look at our website, we've played more collegiate teams around the area. We've played some minor league baseball teams up in the Appalachian League for the past couple of years. Kids who are the same age as the kids that are playing for us. And also, last year, we went over to Kannapolis, the Intimidator Stadium, and played the United States military baseball team.
Oh, wow.
And we had a outstanding crowd there. I think President George Bush Sr., he started that program through the military, and it's been carried on from that point on. And we were very lucky to play those guys. This was our third time playing them, and we beat them once, and they beat us twice. But again, we couldn't get them on our schedule for this year. But this year, the Charlotte Crushers will be hosting our annual league tournament July the 7th at 6:30, again at Victory Christian School.
That's what's up, man. Do you feel that baseball is becoming more global, like basketball?
Yes, yeah. You're going into places that I never thought of, like South Africa.
Oh, wow.
Playing baseball there. You're always going to have baseball in the islands, Venezuela. Dominican. Yeah, I had a brain lapse there, and so now you've got places across the ocean that's playing baseball, and those kids are really enjoying it, and the countries are starting to enjoy it now. So
now I have a question. What are your thoughts about the World Baseball Classic?
I love it.
Yeah, I mean,
love it.
Same here. I feel it's getting a global look at baseball and getting more people in tune with the sport, I've noticed.
And that's what you want. You want that type of atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
You want like Steele said, that you just don't want it to be boring. You've got to have some kind of fan activities going on. And if you see that in Puerto Rico,
Mm-hmm.
you're seeing something's going on every time in the stands.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking at Japan. You seeing they're having those little beaters, whatever
Yep.
they call them, beating each other, and that's going on there. That's what I like. To me, that's a World Series.
Yes.
Now, with a lot of scandals, when you talk about baseball, everybody talks about the negative parts as far as the steroid use or anything. Can you talk about how hard is it to be consistent in the game of baseball?
Well, as far as the steroid use, I think they got a good hand on it now, and they're going to make sure that everybody is being tested. They will catch you off guard.
Yep.
In order to make you, be tested, and I can't think of his name.
Cano?
Robinson Cano. He just got what?
80 games.
80 games. That's half of his paycheck. I mean, why would you want to give up that type of money? He signed that big contract with Seattle, right. So why would you want to give up that type of money just for sitting out 80 ball games? I mean, so now you got an asterisk beside your name if you hit 10, 15 home runs. So they're gonna say, well, the HGH is part of
his career now.
Yeah.
Kind of like A-Rod,
Right.
Rafael Palmeiro.
Yeah, all those guys.
Yeah.
All those.
Because now you say those names, like Roger Clemens, think of Balco, you think of steroid use.
Yeah. So now you don't know if you're going to be entered in the Hall of Fame clean, and so again, Major League Baseball has done a tremendous job in cracking down on that.
And just how hard is it to be consistent in baseball? Because whether you're a pitcher, whether you're a hitter playing every day, there's all types of factors that go in to playing every day. I look at Cal Ripken, who
The most consecutive games.
Yeah, Mr. Iron Man.
Mm-hmm.
right, playing in Baltimore in the AL East against great teams. It was just like there was always a determining factor.
Yep.
And for him to be consistent like he was, you being a scout, how hard is it to just be consistent like that?
You've got to be able to put your body in. Your body has got to be ready for a 180 game schedule, and he puts his body through the most, I think, tremendous workout program in order to survive that. You're going out playing him when the season first starts. You're gonna in Baltimore. There's still gonna be snow on the ground. So you got to get your body adjusted to that again, and then you're gonna go to the West Coast and play the Angels, and so now you got to get your body adjusted to 80, 90 degree weather. Same way when you go to Florida, play Tampa Bay down there. But your body has to be in such good, tremendous shape in order to survive a long, hard season.